The Biography of Mother Saint Theresa. Mother Teresa founded the Missionaries of Charity, is a Catholic order of nuns dedicated to helping the poor, and she began in Calcutta, India. The Missionaries of Charity grew up to help the poor, dying, orphans, lepers, and AIDS sufferers in more than 100 countries. Mother Teresa's selfless effort to help those in need has caused many to regard as a model humanitarian, and she was canonized as a saint in 2016. The name of her missionary is Missionaries of Charity. It's a Catholic order of nuns dedicated to helping the poor. The birth name of Mother Teresa is Agnes Gunsa Bohaksio, the Saint of the Gutters, and she was born in August 26, 1910 in Oskop, Kosovo Village, Ottoman Empire. Her father's name is Nicole and her mother's name is Janafele Bohaksio. And Mother Teresa died in September 5, 1997 in Calcutta, West Bengal, India. And she was pronounced as a saint in September 2016. Agnes Gunsa Bohaksio, known as Mother Teresa, was the third and final child born to her Albanian Catholic parents, Nicola and Janafele Bohaksio, in the city of Skopje, a predominantly Muslim city in the Balkans. Nicola was a self-made, successful businessman, and Janafele stayed home to take care of the children. When Mother Teresa was about 8 years old, her father died unexpectedly. The Bohaksio family was devastated. After a period of intense grief, Janafele, suddenly a single mother of 3 children, sold textiles and handmade embroidery to bring in some income. Bohaksio family, the family of Mother Teresa, held tightly to their religious beliefs. The family prayed daily and went on pilgrimages annually. When Mother Teresa was 12 years old, she began to feel called to serve God as a nun. Deciding to become a nun was a very difficult decision. Becoming a nun not only meant giving up the chance to marry and have children, but it also meant giving up all her worldly possessions and her family, perhaps forever. For 5 years, Mother Teresa thought hard about whether or not to become a nun. During this time, she sang in the church choir, helped her mother organize church events, and went on walks with her mother to hand out food and supplies to the poor. When Mother Teresa was 17, she decided to become a nun. Having read many articles about the work Catholic missionaries were doing in India, Mother Teresa was determined to go there. Mother Teresa applied to the Loreto Order of Nuns based in Ireland, but with the missions in India. In September 1928, 18-year-old Mother Teresa said goodbye to the family to travel Ireland and then to India. She never saw her mother or sister again. It took more than 2 years to become a Loreto nun. After spending 6 weeks in Ireland, learning the history of the Loreto order and to study English, Mother Teresa then traveled to India, where she arrived on January 6, 1929. After 2 years as a novice, Mother Teresa took her first vows as a Loreto nun in May 24, 1931. As a new Loreto nun, Mother Teresa, known only as Sister Theresa, a name she chose after Saint Theresa of the Shocks, settled in the Rito Intali Convent in Calcutta, previously called Calcutta, and began teaching history and geography at the convent school. Usually, Loreto nuns were not allowed to leave the convent. However, in 1935, 25-year-old Mother Theresa was given a special exemption to teach at school outside of the convent, St. Teresa's. After 2 years at St. Teresa's, Mother Teresa took her final vows in May 24, 1937 and officially became Mother Teresa. Almost immediately after taking her final vows, Mother Teresa became the principal of St. Mary's, one of the convent schools, and was once again restricted to staying with the convent's walls. For 9 years, Mother Teresa continued as the principal of St. Mary's. Then on September 10, 1946, a day now annually celebrated as Inspiration Day, Mother Teresa received what she described as a call within a call. She had been traveling on a train to Darjeeling when she received an inspiration, a message that told her to leave the convent and help the poor by living among them. For 2 years, Mother Teresa patiently petitioned her superiors for permission to leave the convent to follow her call. It was a long and frustrating process. To her superiors, it seemed dangerous and futile to send a single woman out into the slums of Calcutta. However, in the end, Mother Teresa was granted permission to leave the convent for 1 year to help the poorest of the poor. In preparation for leaving the convent, Mother Teresa purchased 3 cheap white cotton saris, each one lined with 3 blue stripes along its edge. After 20 years with the Loreto Order, Mother Teresa left the convent in August 16, 1948. Rather than going directly to the slums, Mother Teresa first spent several weeks in Patna with the medical mission sisters to obtain some basic medical knowledge. Having learned the basics, 38 years old Mother Teresa felt ready to venture out into the slums of Calcutta, India in December 1948. Mother Teresa started with what she knew. After walking around the slums for a while, she found some small children and began to teach them. She had no classroom, no desk, no chalkboard, and no paper. So she picked up a stick and began drawing letters on the dirt, and class had begun. Soon after, Mother Teresa found a small hut that she rented and turned it into a classroom. Mother Teresa also visited the children, families, and others in the area, offering a smile and limited medical help. As people began to hear about her work, they gave donations. In March 1949, Mother Teresa was joined by the first helper, a former pupil from Loreto. Soon she had 10 former pupils helping her. At the end, Mother Teresa's probationary year, she petitioned to form her order of nuns, the Missionaries of Charity. Her request was granted by Pope Pius VII. The Missionaries of Charity was established on October 7, 1950, helping the sick, dying, orphan, and lepers. There were millions of people in need in India. Droughts, India's independence, and partition all contributed to the masses of people that live on the streets. India's government was trying, but they could not handle the overwhelming multitude that needed help. While the hospitals were overflowing with patients that had a chance to survive, Mother Teresa opened a home for the dying called Nirmal Hriday, Place of the Immaculate Heart, in August 22, 1952. Each day, nuns would walk through the streets and bring people who were dying to Nirmal Hriday, located in a building donated by the city of Calcutta. The nuns would battle and feed these people and then place them in a cart. They were given the opportunity to die with dignity with the rituals of their faith. In 1955, the Missionaries of Charity opened their first children's home, Shishu Vavan, which cared for orphans. These children were housed and fed and given medical aid when possible. The children were adopted out. Those not adopted were given an education, learned a trade skill, and found marriages. In India's slums, huge numbers of people were infected with leprosy, a disease that can lead to major disfiguration. At that time, lepers, people infected with leprosy, were ostracized, often abandoned by their families because of the widespread fears of lepers, and Mother Teresa struggled to find out to help these neglected people. Mother Teresa eventually created a leprosy fund and a leprosy day to help educate the public about the disease and establish a number of mobile leper clinics. The first opened in September 1957 to provide lepers with medicine and bandages near their homes. By the mid of 1960, Mother Teresa had established a leper colony called Shanti Nagar, the place of peace, where lepers could live and work. Just before the Missionaries of Charity celebrated its 10th anniversary, they were given permission to establish houses outside of Calcutta, but still within India. Almost immediately, houses were immediately established in Delhi, Ranchi, and Jhansi, and more soon to follow. For their 15th anniversary, the Missionaries of Charity was given permission to establish houses outside in India. The first house was established in Venezuela in 1965. Soon, there were Missionaries of Charity houses all around the world. As Mother Teresa's Missionaries of Charity expanded at an amazing rate, so did international recognition for her work. Although Mother Teresa was awarded numerous honors, including the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979, she never took personal credit for her accomplishments. She said it was God's work and that she was just that tool used to facilitate it. With international recognition also came critique. Some people complained that the houses for the sick and dying were not sanitary, that those treating the sick were not properly trained in medicine. Mother Teresa was more interested in helping the dying go to God than in potentially helping cure them. Others claim that the help people so that they could convert them into Christianity. Mother Teresa caused much controversy when she openly spoke against abortion and birth control. Others critique her because they believe that with her new celebrity status, she could have worked to end the poverty rather than soften its symptoms. Despite the controversy, Mother Teresa continued to be an advocate for those in need. In the 1980s, Mother Teresa, already in her 70s, opened Gift of Love homes in New York, San Francisco, Denver, and Addis Ababa, Ethiopia for AIDS sufferers. Throughout the 1980s and into the 1990s, Mother Teresa's health deteriorated, but she still traveled the world spreading her message. When Mother Teresa, aged 87, died of heart failure on September 5, 1997, just 5 days after Princess Diana's death, the world mourned her passing. Hundreds of thousands of people lined the streets to see her body, while millions more watched her state funeral on television. After the funeral of Mother Teresa's body was laid to rest at the Mother House of the Missionary of Charity in Calcutta. When Mother Teresa passed away, she left behind more than 4,000 Missionary of Charity sisters at 610 centers in 123 countries. After Mother Teresa's death, the Vatican began the lengthy process of recognition. After an Indian woman was cured of her tumor after praying to Mother Teresa, a miracle was declared, and the third of the 4 steps to sainthood was completed in October 19, 2003, when the Pope approved Mother Teresa's beatification, awarding Mother Teresa the title Blessed. The final stage required to become a saint involves a second miracle. In December 17, 2015, Pope Francis recognized the medically inexplicable walking and healing of an extremely ill Brazilian man from a coma in December 9, 2008, just minutes before he was to undergo emergency brain surgery as being caused by the intervention of Mother Teresa. So that's all the story of the life and death of Mother Saint Teresa. So thank you so much for listening and watching my show. Until next time.